Hey guys, what's up? It's Christine Seal, the high level queen, and I am super, super excited to share this special interviewee with you today, guys. I have Shaun Clark of HighLevel, and he's going to be showing you a sneak preview of the upcoming level update, which is like the biggest day of the year for HighLevel, I think, maybe. Hey, Shaun.
Hello.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
joining.
having me. It's good to be here. Hey, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Anytime.
Cool. So sorry guys, we're a little late, but we have some exciting stuff to talk about with you all. And if you guys have questions, please put them in the comments so we can get to them. I'm sure there's
For
going to be
sure.
a lot.
This is a much more interactive session. Yeah, so definitely. So let's just talk about a little bit of background on Level Update and what it's all about. So last year we did Level Update. It was our first Level Update ever. And it was awesome because we introduced this concept of SaaS mode, right? And we're going to share some really exciting numbers at Level Update this year. But this really cool idea of saying, listen, stop just selling services, also start selling software and bring the two together. This was like a really weird idea last year, but we've worked with so many people over this last year, and the number of million dollar people that we've run into, I guess that'd be called millionaires, but people who have sold over $1 million or more is incredible. And then everybody below that, people who have started from zero and been able to create these amazing recurring business models around SaaS is just off the charts. So, while we have a ton of new features coming out for Level Update, I think the most important thing to recognize is this business model change, right? So instead of going around and selling like, web design services or Facebook ad services or whatever, those are great. Those are definitely still something you should be doing, but you need to pair it up with this idea of selling a recurring monthly software technology based service, so that if you get, if they say, oh, the Facebook ads have been nice, it's been 3 months, see you later, you don't lose a customer, you continue the revenue stream, right? And so I would say the number one thing we're excited about is just how much money we've seen paid out to agencies. And the agency, again, here is the customer. This is the other big thing I think is cool. When I first came into this world, it was all about like creating funnels and funnels for other people. And these funnels, like, people get like these things on their wall that say like they got $1 million, but then when you ask, it really means they made $1 million for like some fishing lure company or something that they did a funnel for. What I'm excited about is all the money we talk about is the money that went into the pocket of the agency, our customer, right? So yeah, they're doing a great job for their customer, no doubt. But the thing that matters most is, are we helping agencies make more money? Are we helping agencies be more profitable? Not, are we helping a fishing lure company, get $1 million of fishing lures sold? To us, that's not our mission. So for me, that's the coolest part of this whole event, is we get to celebrate that success and really talk about how we're going to take that to the next level this year. So, and into next year, really.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay. I hope you guys are excited. So I'm excited. You guys have grown so much in the past couple years, and
We have.
Yeah, last year Level Up Day was amazingly exciting because of SaaS mode, which some people are still not on. So Shaun, like, what are some of the reasons why someone would switch to like an agency pro plan with the SaaS mode?
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest thing is always going to be the billing, right? So, people being able to scale this business up, I've seen some really incredible examples of this recently where we were traffic and conversion, and there was a guy there who had started into SaaS mode, and he was, he had his first 4 or 5 customers, whatever. And he had this ad ready to turn on, and he had gotten it from another coach, and he was really nervous about turning it on. He was like, I don't know if it's going to work. And that coach was like, look, you just got to try it. So he turns it on, and he's like, I'm headed to the airport. And by the time he got to the airport, he had his first appointment already booked off the ad. And I just saw him post today, and he said, you know what, 170 leads at $4 a pop or something. He's going to have to hire a salesperson because he just can't keep up. So it's just incredible to see that the success. And so really, I would say that scale, as you move up, it's automating all of that billing. You can hand calculate all this stuff, but at some point, just being able to focus down, create a model where you're doing the thing that you can do best, and everything is taking care of itself on the back end as far as billing, user, it also sets up users, it sets up accounts, it allows them to add features, it puts the right features on, turns the right, the features they haven't paid for off. So it handles all that complexity. So as you're scaling your business, you can focus on that, not have to focus on, going in and doing all that by hand. So I would say that's the biggest reason to be on the Pro account.
Yeah, for sure. That's so cool. Awesome. I've had the Agency Pro plan for a while and I love it. It's amazing. Cool.
But let's talk about some exciting stuff that's
Yeah.
coming up. So a little bit of a preview, since you're on this group, you get Christine is always getting the latest and greatest because she's amazing, but we all know that. So the first thing let's talk about is we'll be talking about WordPress hosting. So what is WordPress hosting? I mean, it's the same WordPress hosting as, WordPress is WordPress, right? So, but a couple of things that I think are important with the way we're doing it. So first of all, why are we doing it? The big why is we understand you will run into people who are going to live and die by WordPress or clients that are already on WordPress, and you're trying to figure out how do I put that foot in the door, right? So it's really simple. Now you can say, hey, listen, you want your website to rank higher, right? And they're going to say, yes. And you're going to say, great. Well, my WordPress hosting is faster than your WordPress hosting that you have right now. And as a result, if you just move it over, you're going to get your site ranked higher in Google. What do you think about that? And they're going to say, well, that's awesome. How much does it cost? And so then you're going to be able to come out and say, listen, it will be the same, it'll be no more expensive than you're currently paying. So the easiest thing to do is just make the trade, right? And then you'll start picking up a revenue stream and you now put your foot in the door and a website's incredibly sticky. So that's all really good. So so on the technical side of this, we have access to what's called a level 0 CDN from Google. This is not available currently for any companies outside of Fortune 500. We're the first company to get access to it. It's incredibly cool. It basically just means that we have the same CDN that Google uses for all of its search engine results. So our WordPress hosting should be able to cache stuff out to the edge and get it very close to people and very fast. And so as a result, I think we're going to have just incredible performance. And also on the back end, it'll be very scalable. So you're going to get just world-class WordPress hosting. And just it's another product to sell. Oh, and of course, we'll build it into the rebilling system. So you'll be able to offer it as part of SaaS mode and create plans around it and charge your customers for it every month. So it's a very easy way to add another service or take a service you're already doing with somebody else and slide it into HighLevel. So that's, there's WordPress can only be so exciting, but I think that's about as exciting as I could imagine getting it. So I'm pretty pumped on the results.
Wow, that's going to be so cool. I didn't know you guys were going to put it in the rebilling. That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll make it part of SaaS mode as well.
Wow. Yay. Cool.
So yeah, so that's good. Not a lot of visuals there because WordPress is WordPress, but the point is having it all baked in, having it so just more technical details, I suppose. So you'll be able to provision on the back end, determine which locations have it, all that stuff. And then of course you'll just get a new left-hand menu item. You'll be able to actually jump into the WP admin panel, just like every other feature. You'll be able to hide it if you as the agency are managing, which is probably in most cases, or if for those of you who, for whatever reason, give your clients access to it, you can choose to do that as well. And then of course, there'll be the ability to, we'll have the caching layer up front. So you'll be able to do all of your changes behind the scenes, double check everything that you want to make sure everything's looking good. And then you get to purge the cache, which then will take that edge cache I'm talking about, flush it out, repopulate it with all of the new changes. So you can kind of stage up what you're doing and make sure it's looking good before you kind of hit the go button.
Wow, cool. So we have lots of questions on that, if that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't see them. Oh, whoa, hey, I just have to click the comments tab. Hey there now.
So when does it go live?
Well, that's the whole point of Level Up Day, I think. So I guess you'll have to attend that and then you'll know. But the answer is very soon.
Very soon. Monthly pricing.
Yeah, so monthly pricing, we're coming down to the wire on this, so I'm not gonna out any numbers yet, but I think it'll be an exceptionally good deal. We're just trying to see if we can squeeze a couple more dollars out of it before we launch the price. But the good news is probably for price for performance way less than you're currently paying anywhere else.
Cool. So I'm able to transfer my WordPress site from SiteGround to whitelabel.
Yeah, in fact, so the good news here is we're already in private beta on this, and mostly from we wanted to test the technology and the flows and everything else. So I think we have 6 or 7 agencies that have already gone through this. So we've transferred their WordPress over from other hosting providers. We're running it on our current, our new infrastructure and all that good stuff. And we wanted to do that not just from a tech perspective, but also a process perspective. So yeah, absolutely is the answer to that.
Cool. And is that going to be on the Pro Access only?
No, it will be also available on the $297 plan, but you will not, the resaleability is going to be the big factor, right? So on the $297, you will have it available, but you're not going to be able to mark it up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Will they be able to manage their sites from the admin of HighLevel?
Yes, so long as you choose. Oh, I know, Michael. Hey, Michael. But yes, they will be able to choose. You will be able to choose as the agency. It's all on you to figure out how you want to roll.
Cool. All right. Let's see if we have any more questions on the WordPress stuff or just changing the subject. Ooh, this is kind of a good one. It's not related to the WordPress.
Oh, that's okay.
But they want to know about the coupon system.
You will hear more about that on Level Up Day. So remember, this isn't just, so first of all, we're big on launching features. I don't know if you've ever noticed that around here. So we will actually launch lots of features on that day, but we'll also talk about what's coming this quarter, Q4 and Q1. So we'll give you the future cast on all of that with timelines included, but coupons is somewhere on that list.
That's exciting. Okay. I love that so much. HighLevel is way easier to build in. That's so nice. Will you have a
dev mode and production mode? Yes, that is exactly the goal. That's the whole idea of the caching layer and be able to decide when you're going to send it out. We'll have internal URLs so you can send that to your client and say, hey, client, take a look at what I just changed. Does it look good? Give me the thumbs up. Okay, it's good. Great. Go.
Cool. Do you need to have virus protection, or are you guys building that in?
Virus protection. I don't know the answer to that. I assume so. I mean, we do have, okay, well, all right. So on our infrastructure side, we have denial of service attack protection. We also have a product called Cloud Armor from Google, which does a truckload of this stuff already. It's not specific to WordPress, but what it is, it's specific to all kinds of intrusion attempts. So this is sort of like denial of service attacks. It has adaptive protection, load balancing, all that stuff. So it has bot protection. So it's like, I almost think of it as like network level virus detection. So I guess the answer is yes. But whenever someone says virus detection, for some reason I think Norton or something. But
probably to protect it from getting hacked and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, there's a balance here, right? So to the extent that that's possible, abso-freaking-lutely. Recall though that there's a balance here. So as people ask to add more plugins and other things, some plugins are going to be inherently, if you add the wrong plugin, it's going to be inherently impossible to protect against that custom code. So there's going to be a give and take here. So I would say, so long as you don't install stuff that has known issues to it, you won't have an issue. But we'll also do backups and restores and all that. So if you mess up or you put in a plugin and you didn't realize there was an issue, you'll be able to restore that site. So there's always a give and take there, I suppose.
Cool. Are you guys liking this so far? Give us some likes, give us some hearts, guys. Show Shaun some love. They've been working really, really hard, guys.
Yeah, so Glenn just jumped in SSL. Of course, yeah, SSL is always included. Yeah, in fact, this is way less sexy to talk about, but I think it's super cool. Google has yet another awesome Google technology. Google has a managed SSL service now, which we got beta access to. It's production ready, but they're just giving access to only certain people. And basically it does all the SSL management at scale. But it's cool because on the back end, it's Google doing the SSL, not us. And so it'll scale to hundreds of millions of certificates. So yeah, it'll kick butt and take names for sure.
Wow. Neat.
Okay. Yeah. So that is WordPress. And then before we we can cycle back to these other questions, but let's jump into a couple other quick items that I think are useful. So Twilio replacement, we'll be launching that on Level Up Day. And that is just literally us taking over your Twilio account effectively. I mean, not your Twilio account, but basically you'll be able to transition it into our master account. We'll be able to offer you all the ATP 10 DLC registration automatically. We'll be able to deal with, any of the deliverability issues and all that kind of stuff. Basically, it just is one less thing you have to deal with. It's nothing, again, these are super unsexy topics, but if tomorrow you wake up and you just don't have to think about Twilio again, and you can just sort of send texts ad hocly and phone calls and everything else, that's just one less thing you got to deal with. So that'll be launched. We'll also be in Q4 be launching email ISV is what we'll call it, but it's just basically you don't need MailGun anymore. We'll just put email out of the box, and again handle a lot of the just sort of issues that people run into on the email side, deliverability issues, that kind of thing. We'll start to be able to take over all of that and put it in house, and really work to basically scale that up and make it super efficient and easy to use. You just one less thing to worry about. So super unsexy stuff, but also super useful if you're trying to build and scale a SaaS agency.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited for the Twilio. 100%. Exactly.
And then I'll cover one other topic, and then we can just go hardcore on questions. So little sneak peek here for the group. I'm going to share my screen. So let's see here. Hold on. I'm going to figure out how to do this.
There's a little plus.
Don't worry. I'm joking. I'm not. I'm bad, but I'm not that bad. Can you see my screen, everybody? Yes, Christine. Oh, Christine.
I'm here. I just hid myself.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is a preview from my engineer from a while ago, and but it is advanced considerably since then. But if you could kind of see, let me see if I can do the whole 2x bit. What's happening here is he is going through the process of actually connecting a Shopify store, and the idea here is very simple. So we are going to bring everybody into kind of that next level experience of being able to work with people on the e-commerce side. So if you've ever seen tools like Klaviyo or Privy or those kind of things, I guess my 2x is getting a little crazy there. But being able to actually help people who are in the Shopify ecosystem. Shopify, by the way, is the largest e-commerce ecosystem out there. So as agencies, you may already be working with people there, but we want to be able to bring all of this first-class marketing stuff. So that's workflows, that's email marketing, all of that into the e-com space. We'll start with Shopify. We'll go kind of where the world takes us from there. But I think this is a great way for all of you to get going. So here he's just demoing out that he's got the abandoned cart flow here going on. And so you can actually trigger off an abandoned cart. You can send an email out to people. In his case, he's just going to add a tag because he's a developer and he's just testing the code to see that it's done. But it's pretty cool. It's all built in. Let's see here. How does he abandon the cart? I can't remember. Oh yeah. So there, yeah, he goes to a Shopify store. He's going to add it to his cart, I think. And then I think he just kind of checks out and he pauses for a while and he's just showing me, hey, look, I'm logged in, check it out. Cool. And then he'll jump in here and show me that, yep, look at that. It added the tag. So anyhow, that is a fairly simple demo, but just trying to demonstrate the point here that we are cruising hard into e-com, and we'll expand it out into that. We'll do all of the cool stuff that things like a Klaviyo does today, including revenue attribution and all of that as we move along. And again, just making it so there's just no place as an agency you can't go. And if you have a client who is in e-com or wants to go into e-com, that's now something that you'll also be able to tackle. So I think that's pretty exciting. So we have about, 60 other items at least that we'll talk about. I'm just not sharing them here because this is not level up day, but I wanted to give everybody at least a sneak peek for jumping in here. So with that, maybe we'll jump in and take some questions.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit.
I love your group, by the way.
I do too. We have 81 people watching right now. So.
That's phenomenal. That's awesome. Yes. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit about this, but we're hardcore scaling up the engineering team. So I think we've got 50 engineers, but we'll hit 80 by the end of Q1. We'd go faster if we could hire them faster. In fact, we have 3 full-time recruiters. We're actually expanding the recruiting team so we can move faster. So the next item on the surveys is exactly that. So it's the ability to go in and whether it's job form or type form or whatever, just put in the themes that people want for the surveys and the forms. So that's definitely the next stop for that team.
Cool. WhatsApp.
I guess you'll have to come to Level Up Day. That will be on the list somewhere. I don't know where, but you'll find out when you attend.
So the answer is yes. Is it weird that I'm as excited for Level Up Day as I am for the Super Bowl?
No, because and the difference here is that you'll win yourself. You don't just have to watch other people win. You're going to be the winner. So I think it's super exciting. It's amazing.
Okay, does HighLevel offer single phone dialer function similar to AirCall? And is there a workflow?
I love it when people ask about products I've never used. I think that we obviously offer single line functionality on the outbound side, but there's this whole topic of inbound, which we'll talk about on Level Up Day. So on the inbound side, we will be talking about where we're going to head with that. And then is there a workflow that allows us to market to multiple numbers for the same lead? I'm not sure what that means, actually. Christine, can you help me?
So if one lead has multiple phone numbers?
Multiple phone numbers. That's also on the list for Level Up Day. Okay, if that's what you're talking about, we'll have an announcement about that too.
Cool.
Nice. Thank you, Christine.
Yeah, no problem. Oh my God, there's so many comments.
I know, this is good.
Everyone's like, love it.
Did you get to, Fred Vincent asked, how will the WordPress hosting handle the growth of a client site? It'll handle it beautifully, Fred. In fact, the current architecture is auto scaling, so you won't actually run into any issues. It'll actually move on the fly with you. So
cool. I couldn't even find that one. Okay, so pricing, they're going to talk about that on Level Up Day, guys. Pricing is going to be announced on Level Up Day, which is the 21st.
What? Yeah.
Is it Thursday?
Yeah. Here, why don't you drop the link?
Yeah. So I'm going to drop the link, guys, so you can register.
Here it is in case you need it. Yeah. And then somebody threw out, Michael said something about Twilio takeover going to be cheap. The goal is eventually to pass along a discount on the Twilio stuff. It's super simple. This actually was our original reason for doing this. I tried hard to get Twilio to loop all of the SIDs that we had in our database together, but they wouldn't do it. So the nice thing is if everybody moves over, we'll get a really good volume discount and then we'll pass that savings back on. Although Michelle, I think I actually do somewhat disagree with that, at least in the US. I would say the current cost of Twilio is exceptionally cheap relative to the actual market. If you search text messaging software, I mean, it's 0.0075 cents to a penny to 2 pennies to 3 pennies per text on any commercially available texting software. So I would say it's already very inexpensive to mark up, but mileage can vary. I think if you're in France or something, that's not accurate. But all in all, we will make it even cheaper than it already is. So don't worry, we'll get there.
Cool.
Are
you thinking of offering video presentations like this?
Yeah, so this is like the webinar functionality. I bet you money we'll get there for sure. It's always a fine balance, right? So our mission number one, as much as I like to impress marketers, as much as I like to make all of you happy with marketer specific features, there's also that trade-off of where's that, where are we giving you something you can sell? I think webinars are obviously very popular on the online community, but we also have the local business community, such as figuring all that out. But again, we're customer driven, right? So it's not our opinion, it's your opinion. So after a Level Up Day, how do we get to Level Up Day? Everything you see on Level Up Day is a reflection of of all of the stuff you've been telling us to build. So if webinars become the top thing you guys and gals want us to do, then we'll rock out webinars. It's not an impossible feature at all. So
cool.
What's next?
Do they have to have a Shopify account, or can we do it in HighLevel?
Shopify is Shopify. So yes, they will have to have a Shopify account. So it's a whole $29 a month. It's not going to break anybody's bank. And the other big thing to realize, right? So we could have we could go out and try to make our own little shopping cart thing, and that's cool. And maybe in the future we'll do shopping cart light. I don't know. That's all really dependent upon feedback. But if you just look at if you go to Google Trends and you look at Shopify versus any other cart platform, they just crush and dominate all commerce. And so what I think about when I think of that is, if you're trying to go out and to work with an e-com company, they're going to use a platform like that. It's going to help you get business, right? where we see things is like, look at a Klaviyo. They have a $6 billion valuation right now. And what are they? They're MailChimp for Shopify. That's their claim to fame, right? So yeah, they have WooCommerce and other things, and we'll do those integrations as well. But really, most of their money all comes from Shopify. And I know that as an agency, you can bring a ton of volume through that yourself. Versus, let's say we went out and we came out with Shopping Cart Lite first, you would have a hard time, right? The only people you could pick up were like the new people, and the new people, some of them are going to win, most are going to lose. I think it's easier as an agency to go approach somebody who's already in the e-com space being successful and say, hey, can I get a little bit of your budget to help 10x your company? That's a way easier person to sell to because they've got money and a revenue stream versus trying to do like your own little Shopping Cart Lite bit.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Oh, Lee's asking about WooCommerce.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, here's what we'll do. We're taking Shopify as that starter, and we're going to nail down every functionality that you as a marketer are telling us, hey, look, this is what we need, right? The email marketing needs to work like this. The workflows need to have these triggers and these actions. The revenue attribution needs to look like this. The reporting needs to look like this. Once all of those are great, it's super simple, right? We just add another integration and we feed that same data into the same functionality, and you'll pick all of those up. But yeah, we'll have a full-time, and we already do now, an e-com engineering team that will just sort of keep clipping through those features and then clip through those additional integrations. Good question.
That's so cool. Lots of like duplicate questions. People hopping on late here. We are going to have yes to staging and live. Any new features for reputation management?
Well, I always ask this. I always wonder, because when people ask, I always ask, well, what specific features? So if you want to throw those out there, I'd love to know what specific features. But we do have a bunch. So I mean, we'll have the auto posting coming in the workflow actions. So you can auto post a new review. We'll have the ability to generate a review. In fact, we already have that. Sorry, workflows. You can send out a review request. Let's see. You'll see the reviews worked into the mobile app better. So just curious if there's any specific item, I can run that down with Shivam. He's the product manager for it. But we do have a full-time person who does reputation management related tasks. Just curious to see which ones you're interested in.
Okay. Cool. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, it's scrolling like really fast. When is Yext going to be available in the UK?
Good question. We actually have a check-in call with Yext tomorrow. So I'll have more information about that. I don't think they have trying to think about this. Canada, they have some kind of locked-in relationship with a vendor they can't shake, but in the US, in the UK, I don't think that's true. So we're just waiting to kind of get, I don't know, I think it's pricing or something. I'll know more tomorrow. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, level up day is in 3 days, guys. Will you be able to do Twilio phone number validation in forms and surveys?
Yeah, so this is always a difficult one. So we currently have we currently already validate that the number is formatted correctly. You can't put in super fake numbers, all that stuff. This question is always an interesting give or take. I could see us doing this feature, but this is the presentation, right? I'm going through a form. You're Ajaxing out, so you're sending a request out to Twilio in real time to do a validation on the phone number, and then you're coming back and telling the user like, this doesn't work. So what this is going to do is it's going to create delay, right, in the form, and so the question is just, is that something we're willing to do, kind of thing, right? So is that a possibility of a feature? Absolutely, but I do think it'll lower opt-in rates. So I think some people will come back though and say, look, no, this is like the super amazing. Everybody wants to fill this form out because there's gold on the other side form. So we don't care that it takes more time. They don't care that it takes more time. So, but that just seems like a small enhancement. So yeah, I'll throw that actually at the product manager for the forms team and see where that is on the list. I already know it's there someplace, but I'll ask him again.
That's cool. Okay, very cool. Okay, someone else asked about adding new platforms for reputation management.
Yeah, I'm curious to see which platforms you care about. I mean, obviously today you can. Sorry, I know a little bit more on this. So yes, we will through Yext, because Yext has a bunch of relationships with Doctor.com and Yelp and a bunch of other people. So if you add Yext, we'll also roll in those. So the answer is yes to that. What was the other point I was going to make on that? I was just curious to see which ones you specifically wanted, just because Google is so dominant these days, and I just honestly think they're only going to dominate more. I noticed they've recently started testing a 5-pack, so expanding the 3-pack to a 5-pack. So they're even taking up more real estate than they were before. So I'm just very curious to see. I truly think it's Google's goal, whether they get here incomplete or not. I do think it's their goal, though, to make pretty much everybody else irrelevant. And if you look at the trend line on Yelp, you can see that they're making a lot of gains there.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay. How about POS contactless payments?
Well, we are doing a big rollout on the payments side, which may lead down this direction. So we'll see how this goes. We're going to start in the invoicing and estimating world. Again, HighLevel is always about two things, right? So first and foremost, what are the agency features that we're missing and how can we add those, right? But also, as you're moving out into the world and you're talking to small businesses that you're serving, what are the tools they need that maybe you don't even need, right? Like I've talked to customers before and they've said, yeah, but you don't have blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care, because if that's something you got to buy from somebody else, it doesn't matter to me, because I care about making your customer happy and giving you something you can sell to your customer. Because the way I think of it is, if I can make you, $100,000 extra this year, you could pay for that obscure tool or that tool that only matters to you for 1,000 years and end up keeping your customer longer. So for us, I really like this idea on the POS side, but first we'll start with invoicing and estimating, make sure that's a hit, make sure that's rock solid, and then we can obviously go down to the POS level after that.
Cool. Love it. Okay. What about multiple email addresses?
Yep, on the list. You'll hear about that on Level Update for sure.
Cool. How about the contacts conversation overview tab? Any plans making it more intuitive?
Contacts conversation overview tab. I guess that's the conversations page, right?
Yeah.
I mean, our current I'm certain we'll make it more intuitive. We'll have more filters and we have a bunch of other stuff like that coming. But I think if you look at our contacts page today, it's probably the same or pretty much as every conversations screen I've ever seen. We do have a bunch of tweaks there, though. Although I think if you did pipe drive across the side, that would be confusing to me, because that would mean multi-columns of conversations, and I think that would drive me nuts. But we will definitely enhance that functionality continuously. We do have a big new UI update also that's coming out with Level Update as well, so you'll see a bunch of changes there.
Cool. Jeff says, can you host multiple sites on WordPress?
He's talking about hosting. There's WordPress multi-site, so we will have that. Yeah, which is very obscure. I can't even quite figure out what it does, but yes, we will have it.
Right?
I don't know. People asked for it, so we made sure it was in there.
Will optimized email deliverability be built in?
Yep, that's the Q4 email hosting. So we'll take over all of that, because now be warned. There's only so far you can go. Like, there's no hi, I want to send absolute garbage out to a big list that I scraped off the internet. I want to get to the top of everyone's inbox. That is a no-go. No one can do that. That is a physical impossibility. So I hate email deliverability, because it's always this weird, I don't understand why all my email doesn't go right to the top of everyone's inbox. And I'm always like, check your spam folder. Those people wanted to get to the top of your inbox. Why didn't they win? But there's that middle ground where it's but the records weren't correct, or you don't have a lot of good reputation, or all of those things. We'll take out that middle section for you in Q4 by hosting the email for you. So yeah, we'll totally take that off your hands. Don't worry.
That's going to be incredible. One of my main frustrations with MailGun is that they keep putting me on a blacklisted shared server.
There you go. Yeah. And the way this is done, in the real world, we've talked to the largest, MailGun, SparkPost, and SendGrid. Those are the 3 largest senders of email on the planet. SparkPost sends all the email for MailChimp and Salesforce, for the record. And so it's all bucketed. So it's when you first come in, you sort of you kind of get put in the kiddie pool, and they just kind of watch your behavior. And then based on that, they kind of bucket you. Now, that a lot of people have I'm sure they have very progressive gradients, but you could think about it like three main buckets. you're amazing. You only send stuff to people who love you bucket. And then there's like the, hey, you send decent email and most people like it, but you kind of get some spam or you get some complaints now again. And then there's like, you send absolute dirt garbage that nobody wants. And so that's how they generally bucket you. And so all of the ESPs, that's how deliverability works. And that's how we'll handle it as well. So for the people that have great behavior, they'll get great results. For the people who do a terrible job, they'll continue to have terrible results.
Yeah, like don't cold email from HighLevel.
No, I mean, don't call. I mean, honestly, I think that cold email is such a weird thing because people think of it as like magic. It's just email. It's no different. A cold email and a not cold email are just an email. And one is to a person who doesn't know you yet, hopefully, and the other one is someone who does. The only functional difference is the behavior. And the reality here is, I don't care who you use to send an email, cold or otherwise, if the person you send it to doesn't like it, your tool, your email, your IP address, all that stuff is going to get destroyed. So it's not so much don't send it from HighLevel, it's just don't send cold email that no one wants. I mean, it's true. I mean, there's great examples of there's cold email that works and then there's cold email that doesn't. We can all attest to this, right? I mean, I love the LinkedIn people. Like, hey, I'm looking for people to connect to my area. And I connect, it's like, yeah, like 6 paragraphs of, I don't even read it. I don't even know. It's just garbage, right? I'm like, that is a terrible job you're doing right there. But I've also gotten LinkedIn communications that have resulted in really meaningful business relationships. So, again, I think it's about what you send, not how you send it or who you send it to.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Cool. Well, we have the option of employing HighLevel support straight from HighLevel to help us with client problems.
Well, okay. So probably the answer to this is absolutely eventually. Now, there are people in our group who already do this, and you can seek them out. Or you can talk to Christine. She probably has really good insights on this type of thing. But this will always be a balance. So this is always going to cost more money because in effect you're saying, hi, can I hire labor that you employ to do the support for us? Absolutely, that will happen. Now, our first foray into this, we'll be talking about this soon, but I would say the number one problem that I want to focus on and see if we can put people to work on is this idea of, I don't care whether it's a lead generation campaign or a web chat coming off the website or a Google Business Message coming off Google Business Messaging, off the Google My Business profile. But the number of unresponded leads is horrific. Even with, when the automation comes through and does its job, we knock out about 50% of them, but then the other 50% just ask a question that fundamentally just needs a human to step in. And so we'll be talking a lot about that on Level Update in terms of how we hope to solve for that. Because again, think about all of the stuff that you offer clients. At the end of the day, if all you do is convert more inbounds into actual customers, that is the thing that they all want. I mean, every small business, you might call it something like ranking higher on Google or getting more 5-star reviews or having a faster website. But all of that is in service of what? It's all in service of getting more customers. And so if we could put a little bit of human labor and effort into something, I think putting that into converting a lot of those ghosted leads into actually turning into booked appointments and customers, that'd be way more impactful. So we'll talk a lot about that here this week.
That's awesome. Love it. Okay. Oh, how about online document storage for a contact record?
Absolutely. So that is on the Level Update list. So we'll talk about that soon.
And I have a question for you too.
Yeah.
Lots of people that I work with or help with their agency automations don't want to use like a third-party contract software.
Yep.
And I know that HighLevel has the signature box, which is amazing, but it's a little tricky trying to get it into a PDF.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
Are there any plans?
Yeah. So if you think about that, so what is an estimate, right? Like what's the distance between an estimate and a proposal, right? Mm-hmm. I would say not much. And so I think that you'll find that that's exactly how we'll start this process, because I agree with you. I think in some businesses, they're going to send you an estimate that you'll sign, right? And then in some businesses, they get a fancier name. They call it a proposal. But guess what? Same thing. It's proposing to do something for you. It contains a list of items I'm going to do. the rough costs associated with those. It's sometimes it's a signature, and then sometimes it's a payment collection, right? So I think that what we'll do here is we will evolve into this idea of, you know, a PandaDoc replacement or whatever, because I think in professional services they call it Panda, or they call it proposals, and I think in local services and home services and stuff they call them estimates. And so we'll make sure that we support both.
That's going to be incredible. Wow, so cool.
Yep.
Okay. Will there be what? Will there be an update to the calendar? I don't know what that means.
Yes, there will be, actually. That's a really good, that's a great question for the record. So we have a big update coming on the calendar. So couple things. So there's two aspects of the calendar I think that are useful in talking about here. So one is like additional features. So things like group features and classes and that kind of thing. And the other thing is just setup. So some of the confusion I think oftentimes around our current calendar is just how difficult it is to set up, because we kind of have this old calendar and they introduced the team calendar and all of that. So we're going to clean all that up and make that a lot simpler. So we will definitely have both of those types of updates coming here shortly.
Okay. Well, I saw you guys came out with a copy calendar and then like didn't tell anybody about it.
I know. I have to actually still go drop a video on it. Nobody told me. Seriously. I got after my dev team today. I'm like, what are you guys doing? You can't be dropping great stuff and not telling me. That's crazy.
They're flying.
I know. Yeah, but that's okay. I think but there will be a big revision to the calendar though, because we really want to make it world class. Again, not just for the agency, but let's say you go and you're gonna help a gym tomorrow or something, right? And they're like, well, but we need a class and 20 people, or maybe we need multiple people to attend, like multiple instructors or whatever, right? Like we need to deal with some of those use cases. So we'll also add those use cases.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Other message types through the conversation API.
Well, we already have well, let's see. That seems like an API question. I know the answer is yes, but if you have that question, ping Karan or Varun or Nikunj or like one of the guys who runs the API piece of things, but absolutely.
Yeah, but you already have, I mean, Facebook and Instagram, and you're coming out with WhatsApp. Maybe that's what they mean. I don't know.
I think that, I don't know actually. I mean, the idea is the messaging API will support any type of messaging.
What about Yelp messaging?
Oh, I don't know. Does Yelp messaging, people use Yelp for messaging? That's cool. I wonder if they have an API for that. If they do, the answer is yes, because we would of course do that. So what I would say, actually, do me a big favor, Carla. Can you go find out if they have an API for that? So every time there's a message, can we pipe it into HighLevel? Because if so, we'll knock that out. Although, again, Google Trends on Yelp, not heading in the right direction for them, but I know some people still use it. So,
Cool. Cool. Carla's like my best student, so she'll do that for sure.
Nice. But I would love that.
Looking up conversation history.
Yeah, so we have a more universal search functionality coming in that will do that. That I think will help with that. So yes, that is definitely coming.
Cool. We use notes extensively to show an overview of actions toward a contact, so we can click and read last actions and notes. Would you add the ability to export all notes instead of just the last note?
Yeah, so I mean, you can do this in the API already, but I mean, so let's say we export a list of notes. Here's an Excel file of every note. Now what? Why don't you just have your client log in and read the notes? That's the thing I don't get. So I mean, I guess it's possible, but it feels like encouraging bad behavior, right? Like if someone sent me an Excel file today and said, "Here, Shaun, here's an Excel file of all the notes that were taken," I'd be like, what? I don't know. And you lose context as well. Like, well, what else happened during that period, and what were the conversations like, and who is this contact? What's their contact information? So I don't know. So is it possible? You can absolutely do it today, but and if enough people want it, we'll add and export all these darn notes button. But I don't get why I wouldn't just say, hey, you want to read the notes? Here's a link to the contact. Log in and read the notes.
Yeah.
Maybe take some of your own. I don't know.
Oh, okay. They clarified LinkedIn DM and Pinterest messages.
Yes, those will absolutely be on our list. I think Apple Business Messaging will come first. Again, I think more important on the local business side, but LinkedIn DMs, I'm trying to think about this. The LinkedIn DMs, the LinkedIn ones I've already applied for though. Actually, I love that idea a lot. I'm just waiting for permission. They are stingy as all heck about access to that stupid API. So I'm just waiting for them or somebody else. So if somebody knows somebody at LinkedIn right now or whatever, call them because I would love to get access to that.
Yeah, cool.
Global file management system, yes. API, no clue. But global file management, yes.
Yeah, awesome. In real estate, some states are making you back up all forms of communication. Oh, so that's one case for the notes expert.
Yeah, so they are backed up. So absolutely. So in the case of some legal event or some kind of that kind of thing, we can absolutely. So we deal with this all the time, right? We'll have somebody come to us and say, look, I had a client, they were served a subpoena or whatever it is. Can you export all that stuff? Yeah, we comply with all that stuff. But that's designing. That's already available today. But in general, I wouldn't add a feature for the 1%. I'm adding the feature for the 99%. That's the 1% case.
Mm-hmm. Connect reviews to workflows so we can bypass the internal one and use.
Yes, that is the hey, you got a new review. What do you want to do with it kind of thing? That is absolutely happening.
Awesome.
Folders for email templates. Yes, that is on the level update list. And by the way, when I say it's on the level update list, let's be really clear. That means it's either being released or will be released in the next 2 quarters. Not telling you which one though. Oscar, that question's already been asked, but the answer is it's on the level update list.
Yes. Direct link with a third party tool like Expandy. I can hook you up with the CEO. Wow.
Yeah. But it can't. See, the problem here, folks, is it cannot be black hat. So the number one issue with, so let's just make this clear. Why does HighLevel not do LinkedIn prospecting? Because every app that does it is either in direct violation of the terms of services or probably in violation of the terms of services. And the people who do it, you'll notice these people go in and out day and night, because here's what happens. You start this type of thing, and then the Microsoft attorneys send you a letter from their law firm. It says, if you do not cease and desist, we will sue you into the ground. And then they disappear. We do not want to be that company. We're going to only go by official rails offered by LinkedIn directly, just like we do with everything else. If LinkedIn is not allowing you to do something, they don't want you to do it. And, I'm sure some people can win those legal fights. We just don't want to go. I don't want to go spend any money trying to fight Microsoft in a court of law. So what we've done so far is anybody who's in that business, they can integrate with us directly. But we are not going to integrate through somebody. We're going to integrate to LinkedIn, and we're going to do it with their permission.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Oh, Mauricio has an excellent question about language support.
Yes, we will do a multi-language translation. Couple things on this actually. So one is we wanted to get through a big boatload of features, which we're pretty darn close on, before we go off and do that, because then it's the kind of thing that will slow a lot of things down. Second, I wanted to actually see what the appetite for this was. So I'm also curious to watch the WhatsApp adoption, because I think that will be very telling, because I think WhatsApp traditionally is used in other language environments that I think will help us kind of determine how fast we get to language support. But very good question.
Okay, WhatsApp is on the list, guys. Come on now. Inbound calling release.
Yeah, that will be on the level update announcements. So yes. So as I'm thinking, so just sort of future casting this, it's weird. Nobody's talked about social media posting. That's weird. Oh, anyways. So
I would love to talk about that.
Oh, yeah, great. Also on the level update list. So ultimately, the way we're thinking about this, again, it's every feature the agency needs and every feature the SMB needs. And things that come to mind when I think about that, calling is definitely on there. The ability to take payments and send invoices and do estimates are on there. The ability to do social media posting is on there. Just really critical core business functions, right? Because again, as an agency, yes, we want to be able to run your whole business, but as importantly, we want to see you be able to walk into any business anywhere and help them run their business, because that's how you're going to generate money. So if we had the greatest agency tool set ever that didn't apply at all to SMBs, I just think that'd be a failure, because what the heck are you guys going to sell? That we want to give you products that you can actually go out and utilize as part of your sales pitch and as part of your delivery. And that's what's going to create the stickiness, those SMB features. And so it's this balance of, hey, let's drop more agency features, but let's also drop SMB features. So always be thinking about, hey, how can I sell this? Even if maybe this doesn't apply to me at all. Maybe I hate this thing. It's not even something I want to ever see in my account, but I have 10 clients who love it and would use it. So that's the balance we try to strike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a lot of people are like, wait, what? Social media posting?
Oh, snap. What? Well, I guess you'll have to come to Level Up Day. That's the fun part about Level Up Day. You get to see all these really cool, amazing new things.
That's like what I'm the most excited about, honestly.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. I mean, again, from our perspective, the three last agencies that we haven't been able to impact as much as we'd like is SEO, which I think WordPress helps to get us into, e-com, which is what Shopify helps get us into, and then on the social media posting side. And the social media posting is fun because I think you've got the agency side of it, but you also have the small business side of it, because every small business is told, oh, you got to post on social media, including Google My Business, by the way. And even though I would personally argue that's the last place I would start if I was a plumber or somebody just getting started, it's definitely something that needs to be done. And where I see the biggest friction point is, how can you as an agency provide social media posting at scale, right? And there's some really cool models out there, like Outbound Engine does a really good job of this, where they go out and they create pre-done social media posts by vertical, and then they're able to then take that same post and sell it to tens of thousands of clients. Well, there's this weird, funny thing where some people think that you have to make different posts for different people, but it's just not true. Most businesses are looking for a good looking social media presence, not bespoke custom posts every time. So if you could create a catalog of these and then have them just pushed into the accounts of all of your customers and maybe even auto posted at some point, right? That would make you as an agency look phenomenal for your customer. I think your customer would love it, and it's another revenue opportunity for you, but you don't have to go back to them and say, oh, that's thousands of dollars a month you don't have or don't want to pay me. So it's this nice, beautiful balance. So I think there's some really cool models that we can enable with this type of product.
For sure. Wow, guys, we have done like almost an hour.
I know, we're rocking and rolling. Huge props, by the way, to everybody attending. The Q&A is phenomenal. I'm a terrible presenter. I love Q&A, so I love how engaged everybody is.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things about my peeps. You guys bring it every day. So
real quick on that bug fix question. Sorry, prospect signs up, blah, 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 blah. No, because it's not a bug. So it's a security protocol. So we expose the password one time and one time only, and that's the initial sign up. So think about it like this. If you go sign up for anything right now, and you try to sign up a second time, first of all, it generally denies you. And second, if you don't know your password, that you don't call them up and they say, oh yeah, let me pull open the database of clear text passwords that I just keep lying around. They're like, sorry, we encrypt that password. We don't know what it is. And then you hit forgot my password and you go through the forgot my password flow. That's what needs to be done in that scenario. It's not a bug. It's actually smart. It's the right security protocol to keep you protected and us protected. So tell your users, click the forgot password button. That's what it's for.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so guys, I have to respect Shaun's time because it's almost the top of the hour, but I do want to let everyone know how to register for Level Up Day, Shaun.
Yep.
So I'm going to put that in the chat, and you guys can register for Level Updates in 3 days, okay? So make sure that you go register. And is it going to be recorded, Shaun?
Yes, I assume so. I suspect we're going to put it on our YouTube channel, just like we normally do. And then the other thing, we just have so much content out here. We're going to try to put a nice summary on the blog so that everybody can say, well, wait, I heard about this. Is it launched? Yeah, here's the launch stuff. Here's the Q4 stuff. Here's the Q1 stuff, just so that everybody knows what's up. And then we'll be offering sign up forms for a lot of these for people who want first dibs at some of these features. And things like, hey, can you move my WordPress site over, that kind of stuff. So we'll also have like, one-stop shop for all that info.
Cool. And then also one more thing. By the way, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah,
Shaun.
thanks for having me.
I want to hook everybody up that watched with a 30-day trial of Agency Pro, if that's cool.
Of course, please do.
If you guys want to try Agency Pro, which is the $497 a month plan, and have access to Twilio and email rebilling, check out this link. Okay, you guys can get a free 30-day trial for Agency Pro mode. Okay, so if you want to start a SaaS company, or you want to make extra money with Twilio and MailGun, and you want to have access to all the other new stuff coming out, guys, you guys can get a free 30-day trial here. And Shaun, also those Agency Pro users, don't they also get like a sneak peek and early access to new features as well?
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, so all of our pro folks get all of the big new features first. So definitely be aware of that and be ready for it. It's a great, I mean, we do it honestly selfishly because we feel like pro users really are not only deserve it for being supporting us, but also tend to be our just more advanced agencies. And so they have better experience. They learn more. They're able to give really good advice. So we love the opportunity to actually connect with them. So definitely check that out. And we also tend to give, you get access to product management staff and development staff and those kinds of things. Just because, again, we thrive off customer feedback. We wouldn't be here without all of you. We wouldn't be here without you telling us what you need. And so it's just a critical part of the process and something that we believe in wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Shaun.
Yeah.
Amazing. I can't wait for Level Up Day. So they're going to bring it, guys. Make sure you go register.
All right. Bye, everybody. See you next time. See you on Level Up Day.